All right, it is 4 p.m. Eastern on the dot. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to do a little mini crash course on why top leaders are flocking to Substack, the top 5 things that you need to know to make Substack work for you. And my hope and my goal is that by the end of today's session, you know definitively whether or not Substack should be a key strategy for you in 2026. And if so, how to monetize it. So, the first thing that I want to share is that coming into 2026, I really had no plan of focusing on learning or mastering a new platform. And I do not take lightly introducing something this substantial to my audience as something new to do. Because as entrepreneurs, our top superpower is focus. And anyone that's been following me for any period of time knows that I believe that the key to success is discipline, focus, and execution around the right things. And so I want you all to understand that the fact that we're having this conversation today should raise a huge flag in your mind to say, wow, this is a meaningful and important platform. This is something substantial that is happening, and I should pay attention. I know for me, when I first was introduced to Substack, I got on it begrudgingly because I am in the process of pitching a book proposal to a traditional publisher. And just for everyone's information, if you would like to successfully get a book deal in 2026, one of the top things that publishers are looking for is that you have a growing Substack account. And so I had initially gotten on exclusively for that purpose. But very quickly, we uncovered that this is an absolute gold mine for thought leaders, for big thinkers, and for, let's call it the social media homeless, you might call it. People that never really felt like they found their home online. And this is exactly what Julie, one of our legacy leaders that we encouraged to join Substack, said. And now she cannot believe the growth that she's already seeing on Substack, as with many of our other leaders in legacy leaders that have now jumped on board this incredible train. So today, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about why Substack and help you to determine whether or not this is the right big next move for you. So let's just back up a little bit and let's first talk about what is Substack. Substack is a platform that is geared towards writing. It is a platform that is designed for big thinkers, for authentic ideas, for true and meaningful perspective and dialogue. I want to ask everyone, first of all, for everyone here, I want to ask you all a question. How many of you think that you're maybe a better writer than you are public speaker? Let me ask that question to everyone that we have here today. How many of you think that you're a better writer than you are public speaker? Writer versus public speaker. Okay, so I did a little bit of research on this, and what I discovered was shocking. Actually, over 80% of people are stronger writers than they are public speakers. Many people, many business owners, many thought leaders like all of you have been underpaid and underrecognized because you were simply positioned in a place that didn't value your greatest strength. Okay. And by the way, let's get a Substack train going here. If you're on Substack, go ahead and put your handle there. If you're not following me on Substack, the team will put my handle there so you can join. Now, I personally love public speaking. You guys know my favorite thing to do is public speaking. The way that I built my business is selling on camera. So I will be the first person to say, I love those things, and I'm not going to change anything about those things that helped me build my business and that made me as successful as I am today. But what I can't stand and what infuriates me, what frustrates me to no end, and it's actually the reason why I was a very, very late adapter on Instagram. I think I resisted longer than pretty much anyone you know, even getting on Instagram, because I cannot stand the showmanship. I cannot stand the inauthenticity. I cannot stand the lifestyle flaunting. I am disgusted by the chase of virality. Okay. And so it took me a very long time to get onto Instagram. And Instagram has turned into a platform where we generate leads and we make sales consistently. And we utilize Instagram in my business all day, every day. So today's session isn't about right versus wrong from a marketing perspective. It's not about good versus bad. It's about you understanding what you are up against in 2026 and deciding which hard you're going to pick. Okay. And so to demonstrate the conversation that we want to have, I asked my team to pull a little video that I want to play for you all that represents my observation of what is happening on Instagram for your business versus what will happen on Substack and why we are having this conversation today. So, team, if we could play that video, that would be amazing. No volume. We're going to try that again. Let's see if we can get the volume going. 1 second here. You need to get the full effect. Share your Substack handle while we're waiting. Share your Substack handle. Team, are we reset there? We're going to try this again. Let's try it again. Okay. Not working. Okay. We cannot hear anything. So I'm gonna talk while you guys work on that and let's see if we can get it working. So what I'll say is that my observation of what has been happening to many entrepreneurs for over a decade is that you have been trying to play a game that you're never going to win. And you're never going to win a game where what is being recognized and what is being valued is virality, it is the hook, it is short form entertainment, okay, versus deeper perspective, unique insights, and truly what probably most of you are strong at, which is actually providing real value and truly making a difference in the world with things that matter. Okay. So what I want to share with you is that video that we're going to try to see if we can work on getting to work for you guys. It shows what happens when one of the top violinists in the world is placed in the wrong place, right? So he's playing in the subway and it's the most beautiful music you could ever imagine. And it's the same music that people pay tens of thousands of dollars to get to go experience, being played live. But when it's in the wrong setting, it is devalued. When it's in the wrong setting, everyone just walks on by, no one pays attention. And to those people and in that place, it's not worth anything. Has anyone here ever had the experience or ever felt like you were screaming into the void and you had something so powerful and so important to share with the world, but you couldn't get people to slow down and be present and actually care enough about what you had to say to get the power of the insight that you were trying to share? I cannot be the only person that has felt that way. Let me know in the chat. Has anyone ever had that experience? Mina said my whole life. Um, Let me see. Sonia said yes. Dr. Latanya says yes. Okay, great. Okay, so it sounds like a lot of you have had the same experience. And, for me, I have had this experience, over and over again. And it's why I was so hesitant and why I have so many reservations about where internet marketing is actually going right now. So if you understand where internet marketing is going right now, virality plus AI is a full-on train wreck. because it means that the chase for more that you've seen growing and building over the last 10 years is going to get exponentially greater in the coming years. The race to the bottom is going to be insane because in order to keep up, it's going to be all about more. People are talking and they think it's funny that this year it's all about being unhinged. I don't find that funny, actually. I actually find it very sad that people are embracing the fact that they have to do insane, ridiculous things to get attention online because these platforms value the wrong things. Which is why I'm going crazy and talking incessantly and encouraging big thinkers, true thought leaders, people that have something real and meaningful to share to consider Substack. So we're going to try one more time. We're going to see whether this video is going to work for us. Let's give it a shot. Let's show them the second video that we have ready really quickly. I want you guys to hear this. This is incredibly, incredibly powerful and important. Let's go.
This is Joshua Bell, a world-famous violinist whose story might just change your life. So Josh began playing the violin at the age of 4, and he was quickly identified as a child prodigy. Through years of hard work, he reached the pinnacle of the classical music world and sold out prestigious venues across the world. But one day, Josh decided to take his $3.5 million violin to a busy Washington, D.C. train station. He had on a baseball cap and he looked a bit sad, but he began playing Bach to the busy commuters. And after 45 minutes, more than 1,000 people had walked past, but only 7 had actually stopped. Josh was playing one of the most intricate pieces of music ever written with a violin worth $3.5 million, and just 2 days before, he'd sold out a huge theater in Boston, but in the subway, no one cared about him. So Josh's rejection by these passers-by wasn't a result of his talents, but rather of something that happens to all of us at one point or another. Being in front of the wrong audience at the wrong time. Even the most talented people can be ignored. So instead of sulking or complaining about rejection, do what Josh did and keep on working on your craft and ideally trying to find an audience that might actually care about it.
Boom. So if you want to understand why thought leaders are flocking to Substack, this is why. The people that are going to Substack to consume are going there because they want to consume actual thought leadership. They want think pieces. They want value. They want depth. They want true perspectives. They're not looking for your unhinged edutainment. They're not looking for your viral hook. They're actually looking to learn something and to grow. And the whole focal point of Substack, of course, is long form writing, which then is duplicated over into an audio format. Okay. And so you just saw an example of someone who's the best in the world at what they do and what happens when talent is placed in the wrong places. And I am here to tell you all that, like, listen, I have a huge advantage because I am strong at selling on camera. I have the gift of, I ran tens of thousands of repetitions of selling on camera, and I got myself to the point where I would consider myself one of the best in the world at selling on camera. But that is not the key strategy for every single person building a business. Some of you are significantly better writers than I will ever be in my wildest dreams and imagination. And for those of you that are great at selling on camera, if you add something like Substack into the mix, you're going to expand into massive new markets that you didn't even know existed. For those of you that aren't as strong on camera, this is your moment. And I want to explain why I have a sense of urgency about Substack. Okay. I have a sense of urgency about Substack for a couple reasons. And, one of the first reasons why I have a sense of urgency about this is that I know and I watched what happened with Instagram. And I just want to show something to you guys really quickly. Let me see if I can get back to it. Okay. Basically, early Instagram adapters, which started in the early, like what, I don't know, 2010, 2012. I don't know. I did not join Instagram until like literally like 10, 15 years after it was like blowing up. So I entered that market when it was already extremely mature and it was an uphill battle. It continues to be an uphill battle every single day. We have got it monetized. We have got it to where we're generating leads and making sales there consistently, but it's a lot of work. Okay. Instagram adopters that got in early did not win because they were smarter, because they were better, because they were more talented. It was literally because the platform was working in their favor. They were early adapters. They were first to market. Their posts were shown to people more easily. Their audiences were still paying attention. It was still novice, and creators were rewarded before ads took over. Here is what I am here to tell you. Substack is literally in this phase right now. Substack is in that phase that we all missed, that none of us got to ride the wave on. Substack is in that phase right now. And Substack is rewarding the thing that we have all been craving and our souls have been craving for so long, which is depth and insight and perspective and value. It's not overcrowded yet. You don't need a big audience in order to monetize it. You can start monetizing it from day one. You get paid without complicated funnels, a massive audience. You don't need a team. You monetize right in platform, and then you just watch the notifications get roll in. Okay. And the readers are expecting to pay for good thinking. This is a rare and meaningful window that is going to open and then it's going to close. And the reason why this window is going to open and it's going to close is as anything matures, there's going to be a law of diminishing returns, right? There's a bell curve of market maturity in absolutely anything. So just like Instagram went through that phase of massive hyper growth for 10 to 15 years. And now, yes, Instagram might still be growing, but it's working not for the creators. It's actually working against the creators. Okay. And then you're just stuck in the hamster wheel. Substack is on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's at the bottom of the bell curve. It's still in its infancy. It's still becoming mainstream and widely known. Many people don't even know that it exists at this point, which means that anyone who has like a solid strategy, good value to share, is disciplined and consistent in their work, can be a part of that growth on the way up instead of on the way down. Okay. And when I talk about the bell curve of market maturity, that's something you can Google, right? That's not my philosophy or my opinion. That is the innate natural nature that any market, any platform, or any product is going to follow. You're simply being invited to take advantage of a platform when it's on the left side of the bell instead of the right side of the bell. Is this making sense to everyone? Let me know in the chat. What questions do you have so far? Yes, absolutely. Okay. How does Instagram work against the creators? Because basically you have to keep creating more and more and more in order to try to be seen in the algorithm. Also, now that paid ads are a thing, in order to be visible, obviously you are going to have to spend in most cases. Now, listen, some people have a lot of success organically, but the amount of time, energy, and money that they're spending to do that, there's a disproportionate linkage between energy in and results out. And actually, a lot of people who built their businesses reliant on Instagram are the same people that are now contracting, pivoting, and even closing their businesses. Okay. We talk about one being the most dangerous number in business. You cannot build on a singular platform. You cannot build on a singular source for clients, and you can't build on only a few single ways of acquiring customers. So I'm not recommending here today that anyone throw out any of the other important important strategic things that you're doing to build and grow your business. What I am recommending is that if you are an actual expert, if you are an actual service provider that has true thought leadership, that this should be something that you're paying very close attention to. And it should be something that you are making sure you're taking advantage of now, not later. Because the people that start taking Substack seriously in the next 90 to 120 days, they're going to be the people that grow with the platform. The people that come in later are going to be coming into a mature market. And they're going to have to go through probably the same thing that all of you have experienced, whether it's on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever else you're building right now. So, a great way to think about what is happening and the distinction between content that you're putting on Instagram or possibly LinkedIn or even Facebook versus Substack as a thought leader is like what you see on your screen right now. A bottle of water can be 50 cents at the supermarket, $2 at the gym, $3 at the movies, $6 on a plane, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. And these are probably very low estimates. The same water. And the only thing that changed was the value based on where it was placed. And so instead of questioning the quality of your content, instead of questioning the value of the message that you have to share, you need to ask yourself, is there a market match to what you are creating and where you are sharing? Okay. And this is very, very important because I will give you a perfect example from my own perspective, which is that I will literally post a piece of content that is super powerful, super important, means a ton to me. I will get an incredible response on Facebook. That same piece of content that adds that same amount of value, that has the same depth, insight, perspective, that can help business owners the same way, it might get one, it might get none on Instagram. Okay. Why? Because people are looking for different things on different platforms. On Instagram, they really want to be entertained. They want to be entertained. That's why edutainment is a huge thing. And if you're here today and if you are an entertainer by nature and you love that and you enjoy that, then you probably should be focused more on Instagram versus a platform like Substack. Okay. But if you're a person that is really focused on wanting to create thoughtful IP, if you're a person that wants to actually share perspectives, deeper insights, you have a body of work that you want to distribute, then I definitely think that you should be thinking about Substack. I'm going to talk about monetization in a second. Hold on. This is showing me, you can pull that down off the screen, Krista. I'm going to see if it will let me share just so I can control the slides for a second. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's talk about a couple other perspective that you want to consider about where you are focusing your efforts online, right? Do you want to entertain or do you want to educate? Do you want to chase reach or do you want to chase resonance? Do you want to give away your best ideas for clicks or for conversions, right? And so this is what this whole conversation that we are having today is all about. So why Substack and why now? Substack has over 5 million paid subscriptions worldwide, and it's showing a huge demand for paid newsletters. So I saw a couple people asking in the chat, how do you make money on your content? I'll give you a great example. I got this. Okay, you can see in the left-hand corner, just this morning, 1 hour ago, your note made you $300. This is literally a note that my team pulled out from one of my recorded trainings, and it was a quote that they pulled out of one of my recorded trainings. Made $300 for it. It took 3 seconds, okay, for my team to put up. So how do you get paid? Let me pull down my screen for a second. How do you get paid on Substack? There are many ways that you get paid on Substack. So first of all, the primary thing that you are doing on Substack is you are putting out a free newsletter every week. What is so different about Substack is that when someone subscribes to your account, they are going to get that newsletter delivered to their real email box. They do not even need to be on the platform to receive the value that you are delivering. This in and of itself is a reason why you should all be on Substack. Okay. That one thing in and of itself. Okay. So the first thing that you do is you put out a free newsletter or a free think piece or a free blog or a free topic or whatever the case for free on Substack every single week. Someone said, what if you have an email list and a blog already? I would recommend that you have an original piece that is going out on Substack. I'll tell you in just a second how we're doing this from my perspective. And there are many different ways to do this. By the way, I'll just say this right now for everyone because there's no way I can cover all of this today. I am doing a full-blown intensive on Substack on February 24th. So if you're sitting here today and you're like, I want the whole plan, I want the A to Z, I want the monetization strategies, I want the content plan, I want everything, come join us on February 24th. And we're doing a full A to Z breakdown of how to build out your monetization tiers, how to get your content monetized, how to grow your account, how to train a team member so that they can run your Substack for you. We're covering it all from A to Z. So again, the team is going to put that there in the chat. You can go to https:// accelerator.virtualbusinessschool.com/Substack. That is there. Team, if we could pull up the QR code really quickly so that people can take a look at that, that would be amazing. If there's anyone that is not following me on Substack, you can follow me there just so that you can at least see what the content that I put out on a daily and weekly basis looks like. So scan that really quick if you think you want to be there on the 24th, because I'm going to keep moving. Okay. Erin says she'll be there. That's amazing, Erin. We can't wait to see you there. Awesome. Mina says she's going to be there. That's amazing. I'm so happy, Mina, that you can join us. Let's see. Vanessa's going to be there. Amazing. Who else? Who else is joining us on the 24th for the Substack Intensive? Kat is going to be there. Lorraine is going to be there. Marsha is going to be there. Chris is going to be there. Amy and her VA are going to be there. Jennifer is going to be there. Timothy is going to be there. Okay. So absolutely. Okay. Amazing. Tiffany's going to be there. Christina is going to be there. Awesome. I'm so happy you guys are all able to join. Okay, so go ahead and get yourself registered, screenshot that. Okay, so what I want to talk about is how I'm answering the question that you guys put in the chat, which is how do you actually get paid for your content in Substack? First, you start by putting out your free publication of the week each week, which, as I mentioned already, that can be a newsletter, that can be a blog post, that can be a point of view perspective, it can be an article. What we do, which is not what you need to do, but it's just to give you an idea. And when we do the intensive, we're going to help you to identify the right way to put out content for your brand. What we do is we take one of the recordings that I already have that came from a paid program that was recorded recently but is not in current use, and we turn that into an article. So every week we're getting to take something that is a thought leadership piece that matters a lot to me, that is still relevant and timely, that I want to share with the market. And the team is literally taking that piece, turning it into an article. And then that is the free tool or resource that we're sending out every week. And you make it so that people can either read it or they can listen to it. So that's your baseline. Then you have 2 additional tiers that you're going to create. Okay. So first, you're going to have your paid subscribers. So the free piece that you do every week is incredibly important because the free piece that you do every week is literally what makes people say, I want to upgrade to become a paid subscriber. Okay. So within your free piece, and we're going to teach you about this on the 24th, we're going to give you all the strategies to do this. Within your free piece, we're going to give you the hooks. We're going to give you the language. We're going to give you the button criteria. We're going to walk you through how to build into your free piece each week the invitation to come into your inner circle. And there's certain things that are very important about this because people don't want content just for the sake of content. Okay. So the positioning of your inner circle, the positioning of your paid content is very important. We're going to help you with the strategy around that on the 24th. Every time you send out the free piece, within the free piece is embedded an opportunity to upgrade to become a paid member. Okay. Then the third tier that you're going to have is going to be called the founding members tier. And you can name these things whatever you want. I'm using the language that Substack use, paid subscribers and founding members. Now, this is very different than the way that you would typically do a founding member launch. When you do a founding member launch, typically it's going to be a very low price for a very short period of time, and it's a window that opens and closes. It's the opposite on Substack. Your highest paid subscription is actually going to be your founding members tier. And they're going to get both the free, they're going to get the paid, and then they're going to get an upgrade even above and beyond that. It is completely up to you what you decide to build into these things. When you join us for the paid intensive on the 24th, we are going to walk you through examples and we will show you examples from different industries and different business types of how you could structure your free, your paid, and your founding members. Okay. So you are going to use your free article each week to get people to upgrade to your paid. And then you're going to incorporate content and conversations with your subscribers to then invite them to become either paid or to become founding members. And when you're doing new releases for your founding members, you're going to publicize it so that people are triggered to say, oh, yes, I actually do want to be a part of that. So, for example, I did a live recently that was strictly for my paid members that broke down the sacred selling method. Right. And that was something that people were interested in and they wanted. And so that was just for my paid members. There are all different components that you can build into those three tiers. But here is what's so mind blowing and so amazing about Substack. First of all, this is all happening within the platform. I want you all to understand how mind blowing this is. This is all happening within the platform. You don't need any tech. You don't need a team. You don't need anything. This is literally happening. And what's so powerful and important to understand about this is that people are literally making their buying decisions based on convenience and based on user friendliness, right? And the fact that when people go to subscribe, they're instantly just given a choice. Do you want to do free? Do you want to do paid? Do you want to do founding member or whatever the case? The fact that they can do that right in app and they don't need to leave and they don't need to go get a credit card and they don't need to fill out a different form and they don't need to take 18 steps, that in and of itself is driving sales. It is easy and it is convenient. And that is one of the things that is most powerful about this. Okay. So my channel is called The Sacred Art of Selling because I got on Substack to pre-build my bestseller community for my forthcoming book. There are a million different approaches that you can take to the tiers that you build and the content that you're going to create on Substack. But what I will tell you is people on Substack, listen to what I am saying. And I've seen this absolutely. People on Substack with 1,000 or less followers are bringing in more revenue than some podcasts that have over 100,000 downloads a month. Okay. So the disproportionate activation that is happening is absolutely insane. And I want to be clear for us, we did not carry over our email list. We did not pull over our email list. We did not import anything. We built from zero. We built from zero. Okay. So when I'm saying like, oh, you can monetize from day one, or, you can start getting paid subscribers from day one. That was literally starting from zero. That was not saying like, oh, I'm going to come over here and just move my database over. No, we did not do that. We wanted to actually build authentically there because we want the people that are coming to my Substack to actually be interested in these topics, coming there for this purpose. And obviously it's important to me because I want to get on the New York Times bestseller list. I want to have 10,000 paid subscribers to my Substack that are interested in the topics that I'm specifically sharing there. And so there's a different purpose for me than maybe there will be for you. If you are a person, I want to ask really quickly, how many people that are on this live right now have a book or are in the process of writing a book? How many people that are on the live right now either have a book or you're in the process of writing a book? Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So for all of you that have a book, this is one of the best ways to build your income flywheel and to make money from the content of that book ongoing and forever, in addition to your book sales. So whether you have one of your tiers that is a book club around that, or you have one of your tiers that they're specifically getting deeper perspectives from that, if you have a book that is done, this is massive for you. It is a way to exponentially multiply the revenue that your books generate for you on a monthly basis. Number two, if you are writing a book, if you are writing a book, I would say it is a non-negotiable if you are writing a book right now. If you want to get a publishing deal, you basically have to be there. But even if you're self-publishing, like if I knew what I know now, I would have gotten on Substack way earlier and I would have built an interest list there for the Miracle Hour book that I'm actually releasing in March. I didn't know about Substack then, so obviously I wasn't on it because I just didn't know what I didn't know, which is why I'm having such a sense of urgency around talking to you all about this, because I feel that there is a sense of urgency around this, because the longer you wait, the more that you're fighting a crowd. The sooner that you get on this and do it the right way, the faster and easier you're going to be able to grow. Okay. So I want to share my screen again. Give me 1 second here. Okay. So we talked about this already. Instagram adopters, the early ones, they weren't better. They just got there sooner. And you have to ask yourself, are you going to be the person 6 months from now that says, I'm so glad that I did versus I wish that I had? That's for you. I want you all to really think about that, because Substack is in that early phase right now. It's on the left side of the bell curve, like we talked about, and it's going to move fast and it's going to change quickly. Okay. I talked about the fact that you guys know, and you all have, I'm sure, experienced the fact that with your Instagram content, with your Facebook content, maybe 1 to 3% of people see it. The average open rate for Substack messages, your content that you're sending to people, is close to 70%. Okay. So I want you all to understand the magnitude of how many fewer people you actually will need on Substack to have a meaningful income stream than the number of people that you need on these other platforms. Like, the math is insane if you actually sit down and say, okay, I'm going to reach 60 to 70% over here. I'm going to reach 1 to 3% over here. What is the difference in the amount of leads or the amount of followers that you need for that platform to actually pay you? Now, what has been insane for me is that, we grew over 4,000 subscribers, and we're probably growing by 50 to 100 a day right now. It's just crazy. And again, it's because Substack is early. People are discovering you. You're still being shown, like, now is the time. 14,000 in added revenue. So, I want you guys to understand this is like 1/1000th of like 18 million other things that we're doing. And to see those kind of numbers from a brand new platform that we're spending no more than having one staff member 30 minutes a day or less on, that is bonkers. That is bonkers, and that is not comparable on any other platform. We've been ranked multiple times on the bestseller list and the rising list, which why that's important is that those lists are generated by how fast you're gaining paid subscribers. And when you get on those lists, you then get shown to more people, right? So this note in the left-hand corner, I sent that to my team just a little bit ago before we got in this live, because I popped in there just for a brief second. I'm actually at a conference these next couple of days learning about business acquisitions. And I just popped in there for a quick second. I'm like, you guys, this is insane, actually. Like, this is crazy. Okay. So I just want you to all to understand that, like, this is your freaking moment. And like, I don't know about you, but I feel like so vindicated because I have always wanted to. And I wrote about this in the Conviction Marketing book. Like, I just believe so deeply that you can grow and you can achieve your goals and dreams by adding value and being of service versus chasing virality and doing ridiculous things online. And, I did that coming up, with everything that I've done. But I will say it is much more difficult today than it has been in past years. It's noisier. Now AI is in the mix. A lot of people are using that for content creation and distribution. And there's just so much oversaturation and noise that it's really hard to stand out. This to me, I'm here at the conference and I was just chatting with someone a couple minutes ago and they said, what is Substack? And I was describing it and they said, oh, that sounds kind of like LinkedIn. And I said, no. I said, it sounds like what LinkedIn could have been, but it never rose to the occasion. Because if you're on LinkedIn, you know it is a complete dumpster fire, right? LinkedIn, is it a valuable tool? Yeah, absolutely. LinkedIn is a valuable tool. If you're using it for like outbound strategy and you're using it for like sales navigator and you're being strategic for outbound messaging and all of those things, like, yes, it can be very, very valuable. But I will tell you, I think I have close to 50,000 followers on LinkedIn and it's growing every single day. And we are getting more traction from Substack than we are on LinkedIn. And we put out incredible value on LinkedIn and have for years all throughout the week. We've been consistent, we've added value, we've done all the right things. Our account is growing, we have high engagement, but the conversion metrics don't compare to what we are seeing on Substack. So that is why I am so excited about what we're going to be doing with you guys on the 24th. Let me just pull my screen back up again. I want to go through the top 5 things. That I think are key for you to know about Substack. So first of all, Substack is about point of view versus popularity. People choose to follow people on Instagram and mirror, mimic, and buy from them simply because they have a large following. Period. It's undeniable. It is what it is. That is the truth. On Substack, people actually don't value that. They really don't give a crap how many people you have following you. They will subscribe and they will pay to consume from you if they feel that your point of view is valuable. People are subscribing to your thinking. Okay. And this is why the Wall Street Journal just wrote this up about this being the year of newsletters. This is why so many independent journalists and artists and musicians and really talented thought leaders and creatives are going to Substack because it's just a difference in what is valued. Right. And so I'm not saying Substack is for everyone. I'm saying it depends on what you want to be valued for and where you want to put your energy and focus. The second key thing is its consistency of thoughts versus volume of content. This is a very dangerous slope that is happening on Instagram right now. I don't know if you guys are aware of what's happening, but a lot of the bigger creators are actually hiring entire distribution companies that are building thousands of dummy accounts for them so that they can dominate the feeds and so that they can have basically like ruthless domination over the visibility on the platform. And so I think for creators and for smart and strategic business owners, you have to ask yourself, what game am I playing? And how am I going to give myself an unfair advantage by placing myself in a position to win? Okay. If you have a high ticket offer in your business, 20,000, 30,000, whatever the case, for every 50 customers or even less, that's $1 million in revenue to your business. I can tell you, and probably a lot of you are these amazing people. Let me know in the chat right now if you've subscribed to my Substack. I send the names of people that are subscribing to my Substack every single day. And I say to the team, like, wow, my mind is blown. I can see the quality of thinking because the people that are coming to the Substack are the more elevated leaders. They are the people that they themselves have deeper perspectives, thought leadership. They value. So it's just a completely different kind of perspective and way of being. Okay. So the first key thing with Substack is it's about point of view over popularity. The second key thing about Substack it is about consistency of thoughts versus volume of content. Play a game that you can win. The third thing about Substack is that this is about relationship over reach. Okay? So Substack is rewarding trust. It is not rewarding audience size. Actually, it's doing the opposite. Substack actually is pushing small creators, right? So where small creators are fighting the algorithm on Instagram and on Facebook and all these other places just for like 1 to 3% of their people to see what they're putting out, Substack is actually focusing just the opposite in a completely different direction. So Substack is rewarding trust, whereas Instagram and these other platforms are rewarding unhinged behavior, virality, and hooks that are clickbait. So I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm saying you decide where you want to insert and exert your time, energy, and focus as a leader. Okay. Ideas and IP versus on camera presence. I think this is really important. So, I said this earlier, but I'll say this again. I love selling on camera. I built all of my companies selling on camera. I enjoy it. It's something that I am probably one of the best in the world at. It is very important to understand that the vast majority of humans on the planet are stronger writers than they are public speakers. The vast majority of you watching this right now probably have more power in the pen than you do speaking and teaching on camera. It's not one versus the other. I'm not changing anything that I'm doing. What are we doing right now? I'm on camera with you right now. So I'm not saying, oh, I'm not going to live launch or I'm not going to be teaching on camera anymore. I'm going to go do Substack. What I'm saying is learn how to leverage your own superpower. And if you're stronger with writing than you are with being on camera, then your trifecta as a business leader, the scales just evened out for you. You just have to make sure that your writing is getting shared in a place where it's going to be rewarded, paid for, and recognized. Okay. So hopefully that's making sense for everybody. And then the fifth big thing is cross promotion expands visibility. We are moving into the collaboration economy, right? You are going to, with the emergence of AI, almost everything can be automated. That is going to change every aspect of our way of life. And it is going to make the things that are invaluable in business very rare. One of those things is going to be relationships. In fact, that's why I'm even at this conference this week is to build new relationships. Relationships are the currency that is going to outlast the transformation that happens in the business climate with AI. And what's so cool about what Substack is doing is that it is really focused on and rewarding people for doing collaborative posts, collaborative lives, collaborative shares. And what that does is every time you do that, and we'll teach you guys this. This is going to be part of what we're going to cover on the 24th. But every time you do that, you are then getting introduced to a new audience, a new audience, a new audience. The difference is when you can do a cross promotional article together versus a live stream or a launch or a webinar, you can leverage and maximize your time. The thing that has always held me back from doing as much collaboration with other creators as I wanted to is that I'm limited in the number of hours I can be on camera. I'm limited in the number of things that we can promote for people to come and attend that I'm doing live. What Substack now does is it gives us endless opportunity to co-create with other smart, big thinkers that have real ideas, that have real vision. And you're not losing traction in the market or losing focus in the market with what you're doing on camera or with a webinar or with a launch or whatever the case. Okay. So these are really the top 5 things that I think it's important to understand about Substack. So I want to invite every single person here to click that QR code and come register to spend February 24th with myself and the team to learn how to get started monetizing Substack for your business right away. You are invited to bring a team member with you. My team runs my Substack A to Z for me. I'm not actually the person that is on the platform. I'm not the person creating for the platform. It is all of my thought leadership. It is all of my content that is being used. My team is basically taking that and proliferating it and sharing it and repurposing it in unique and different ways to get the messages out. Okay. So you are invited to come on the 24th, bring your team so that they can run the plays on the strategy. You need to be there so that you even understand. And there's a lot of key decisions that you need to make, which we will walk you through. You need to decide what type of content you're going to be sharing, what your theme of your tiers are going to be, what the interconnectivity with the overall brand is going to look like, what your content strategy is going to be, what the process and workflow is going to be for your team, and how you're going to set them up for success to be able to monetize and grow your account on a daily basis. This is something that absolutely can be a trust building offer for your business. I have already been mind blown, as I said already. I was sharing with the team earlier today. I'm looking at the names of people that are coming into our paid Substack, and I'm like, wow, the people that we want to work with in a higher level capacity see instantly the value of what we're doing here. And they're either coming for the content or they're coming to learn the strategy. But either way, you're welcome. I want you to be here and I want you to be a part of this conversation. If you are in Virtual Business School Gold or you are in Legacy Leaders, there is this is included for you. So if you're in Virtual Business School or Legacy Leaders, this is included for you. If you are a paid or founding member of my Substack, you get $100 off of the intensive. So if you're not already a paid member of Substack, you probably want to become a paid member or founding member of Substack. So you get the $100 off and then come on over and join us. The QR code is right there on the screen for you. The link is there as well. And I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And I just want to have the team, if you guys could go ahead and pull up the page for one quick second, I just want to be able to walk through with them exactly what we're going to be covering during the intensive, so that they can actually see what that A to Z is going to look like. You can bring your dog, Cindy. Dogs are welcome. Marley might join us. Okay. Awesome. Comment in the chat. Let us know if you will be there on the 24th. I can't wait to see you all there. I already saw many, many, many of you jumped in while we were here today, which is wonderful and exciting. Okay, great. Laura will be there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maria. Okay. Perfect. Jessica Rice will be there. Excellent. Okay. So let's just talk about what we're going to cover on the 24th together. We are going to talk about, number one, what your strategy is, right? So, what is your strategy for Substack? What is the positioning of your channel? What is the content that's going to go there? Can we go down to the topics that we're covering? That would be amazing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Perfect. So it starts with your content and it starts with the value that you're adding. And I want to be very clear on this, like just like everything that I teach, there is no easy button and there is no get rich quick. So let's just be super clear and upfront about that. Your content has to be valuable for people to want to pay you for more of your content. So let's just be very upfront and honest with one another in this relationship, right? So our goal is going to be to help you to understand what content strategy is going to support your ability to grow on this platform. Your ability to grow on this platform has to be the right content strategy, the right topics, the right places that you're pulling from, all of those things. Number two, what is your 30-minute a day cadence for growing your subscribers and your paid members going to look like? Krista, who runs my Substack account, is actually going to give you guys a crash course on what she does each day and how we grow both free and paid subscribers from that. Okay. We will also be workshopping with you and giving you examples and recommendations on your paid tiers of Substack. So we're going to go through your free, we're going to go through your paid, and we're going to go through your founding member tier. And then bonus, we're going to talk about what the interconnectivity is between that and either your trust building offer, your mid-tier offer. What is the overall connectivity between what is happening on your Substack account and then what is going to be happening in your overarching business? Where do you want this to go? And by the way, you might decide you like this so much that you want to trash other things and you're just gonna, use this as one of your primary offers, and that's cool too. You have to get into it for yourself and kind of see what that looks like once you get going with it. Okay. All right, let's keep moving. We're going to give you the system for converting your free subscribers into paid ones. So as I mentioned already, there's strategy from a copy standpoint, what you're putting on the buttons, and how the placement of that looks inside your free articles. That's then going to move people from free to paid each week. So we're going to teach you that exact system. Okay. And then we're going to walk you through the content repurposing system. So Krista will actually show you and walk you through how she's taking my content, running it through the system, pulling out articles, pulling out quotes from content that I already have. And then that's what's going on to Substack. Okay. What I do not, let me be very crystal clear with you all. Please, please, please do not start copying your content that is already on other platforms and just smack it onto Substack and think that this is going to do something. I actually recommend that this content is not the same as your other platforms. If there's something someday that like is really important to you, or you think it's really valuable, or you like really want to share it, like, okay, fine. But please do not just start copying over your content to Substack and thinking that this is going to grow. Okay. It destroys the whole meaning of what the platform can do for you if you take the intent and the intention of what you're doing out of it, just like anything else in our businesses, right? So I just want to give that little side note to everyone. We will show you a content repurposing strategy that allows you to take work that you've already done and utilize it. I just do not want you copying content and just using it from other platforms over there. There's no reason for people, especially there's no reason for people to become paid subscribers there. Okay. And then finally, for some of you, once you get into this, you may very quickly see that you're attracting the right kinds of people. You're attracting people that will upgrade into your other offers, and you may want to start running ads to grow your Substack. We're going to walk you through how to use ads to do that as well. Okay. You can scroll down a little bit there, Krista. So the bottom line here is if you are tired of the sound bites and the virality and the chasing and the hooks, and you want to really step into thought leadership in a true and honest form, Substack is the place to do it. This is if you want to build a paid audience, not another free list. If you're preparing for a book launch, a book relaunch, a major IP release, something like that, or maybe you just want to elevate your audience to people that are actually pursuing and seeking deeper perspectives and more meaningful content, this is for you. So whether you're an expert, you're a consultant, a practitioner, a service provider, a coach, and you have a deep desire to make a meaningful impact, this is your opportunity to do that because you have people actually consuming long form content in either audio or written form. Okay, so the intensive is on February 24th, and I think we gave you all, we can pull back up the code for a quick second there. If you have questions about what we're doing that day, you can go ahead and put them in the chat now. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Krista, can you pull back up the higher tier? Yeah, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about that. So this is really awesome. I totally forgot. So those of you that want to like super fast track this, like you're like, I'm in, let's freaking go, and you just want to like move it and shake it, the gold admission will be awesome for you because you get a one-to-one session with our team to map out your paid subscription strategy, and you get a 30-day growth challenge and engagement pod. So that's going to give you massive visibility. That's going to help you get new exposure to new accounts. That's going to kind of just like accelerate everything that you're already learning in the intensive. So the intensive is going to give you all the essentials. It's going to give you like, this is what you need to know to grow and monetize on Substack and get paid subscribers each day. The gold admission is going to help you fast track. So if you want to just like push it and you want to go quickly and kind of skip to the front of the line, the gold admission is going to be for you. So $297 for general admission, $457 for gold admission. Both of them get live access. Both of them get the weekly growth checklist. Both of them are going to get obviously the full intensive. But then the gold admission is going to get the one-to-one for your paid strategy, the 30-day growth challenge, the engagement pod, and the recording. Okay. So I think that gives a pretty good overview. It's a total no-brainer, right? Like that's why we did it. We know it's a total no-brainer. If you guys have any questions about what we're going to do on the intensive, I think the team is doing a pretty good job answering them. It looks like Kat needs help with the code. If someone on the team could help her with that, that would be amazing. Yes, VBS Gold does get a code for the upgrade. Great. Perfect. Okay. So I'll just really quickly, you could do 2 short videos, 10 minutes, 2 times a week, or does that? No, no, that would be fine, Wendy. Wendy said, could I do 2 short videos, 10 minutes, 2 times a week? Well, let me tell you something that blew my freaking mind about Substack. For those of you that don't have big teams, this is going to change your life. When you go live on Substack, which you can go live to your full audience or you can go live only to your paid audience, Substack has built an AI that automatically splices all the clips of your live for you. It gives you hooks built in on top of it, and it gives you a full asset load to take all the clips of that and turn that into daily posting. So in your case, Wendy, if you did two short 10-minute videos a week and you just did that on the Substack platform, they would literally do all the work for you. You can just save them on your phone and then have an intern literally push one of them out every single day for you. So that's another thing. We could probably even demo that live for you guys in the intensive and show you how that works. I like literally freaked out when I saw this because you guys know there's like 18 steps, after you do a live to like, you post it, you download it, you send it to the editor slices it up, right? The team reposts it, then you have to post it here, then you need to get a new hook, then you have to do the new graphic design. It's all done for you. It's all done for you. So, yes, you can also add your podcast into Substack if you choose. And there are all different ways that you can use the platform. And we're going to actually walk through platform capability and functionality with all of you in the paid intensive. Okay. So, that's just giving you like one little tip of the iceberg of what is waiting for you and what is available. As a next step, there's two things that I would recommend from today's live session. Number one, go ahead and get your ticket to the February 24th intensive. It's a no-brainer, and now is the time. And no, I don't know that we'll ever do this again. So that's step one. Step two is if you're not already on Substack and you think that this is going to be the right platform for you, one of the right platforms for you, go ahead and get yourself signed up. And you can come over and follow my account just so that in the next like week and a half between now and the intensive, you can kind of observe what we're doing and see what we're doing. Krista, do you want to just pull up the my like I can share my screen if you pull that down actually and just share my Substack for a second, and we'll walk you through the strategies with this, and we'll walk you through like what we're doing with our tiers. But just to give an example, and mine is The Sacred Art of Selling, because that's the book that I created my Substack to support. You can click the QR link on the screen right now, and you can follow for free. So you can follow for free by clicking the QR code on the screen right now. And then you can decide if you want to do the monthly and annual or if you want to do the founding member. Okay. So you can take the next week and a week and a half to kind of observe what we're doing, get a lay of the land, get some baseline. And then when we come together on the intensive on the 24th, we'll help you with your strategy. I don't think anyone's strategy needs to look like our strategy. So I'll be really clear about that. When we do the intensive, we'll give you different examples of what this could look like for you, because it's not our way or the highway. We're just doing it one way, but there's a million ways that you can do this. I think it's about having good strategy, quality content, and high intent with what you're doing. If you have a good strategy, you have quality content, and there's high intent with what you're doing, there's no reason that you can't absolutely crush this and do it your own way and get on this early before it explodes so that you can really take advantage of being an early adapter. I know I said to my team, I've never been an early adapter on anything. Okay. I was like the last person in business to get on Instagram. I've always been a late adapter because I'm very resistant to adding new levels of complexity to business because I think focus is your superpower. So it takes a lot for me to say, okay, I'm going to put this energy and effort into this. And I'm only doing that because I see what the opportunity is for us and I see what the opportunity is for all of you. Okay. It is 5:04. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you got a lot of value out of today's session. And I hope you're super excited to really grow your thought leadership platform this year, monetize your books, monetize your thought leadership, get your paradigms and your constructs and your IP out there in a meaningful way. I look forward to seeing all of you on the 24th, and I'll see you over on Substack at The Sacred Art of Selling. Thanks, everyone.